Congrats again on joining this webinar. Super glad to have you here. And by being here, you're already setting yourself apart from 99% of guys, because you could be watching Netflix, scrolling on TikTok, I don't know, doing some bullshit on the internet, but you're here, you're watching this. That means you're committed to your success and you want to learn these things and you're serious about your dating life. Basically, I'm going to show you how to predictably attract, obtain, and retain high quality women without wasting your time, sacrificing your goals, and really, there's a lot of guys, who work on their dating life, but it becomes like their whole life. They just go out all the time, just go to the mall, approach girls, like it becomes their life. You know, these pickup artist guys who just do that all the time. Well, I'm going to show you how to do that efficiently without spending your whole life just chasing women. Okay, and this is going to be very powerful. So in this webinar, you're going to learn, number one, the new rules of the dating market and how to win big with women. Number two, how to get dates like clockwork and with a predictable system. And number three, if you want to retain an amazing girlfriend at some point, I'm going to show you also how to do that within the next 30 days. So we're going to cover a lot of different things. If you stay till the end, you're going to know exactly what to do to transform your dating life. You're going to know exactly how to get there. You're going to know the next steps. So in this webinar, first of all, I'm going to show you the different levels because there's different levels to success with women. There's actually different levels to being good with women. And this is what I call the three Playboy levels. There's the amateur level, the intermediate level, and then the professional level. Those are the three levels of being good with women. Now, a lot of you guys that are here on this webinar, you're probably kind of an amateur. I mean, you've been consuming some content online, you've been watching a few videos, maybe you got a few dates, maybe you fucked a few girls. But most of the time, you have a hard time approaching girls in your day-to-day life. You have a hard time really flirting, sexualizing, and closing the deal consistently. You're kind of relying on luck when you do it. And yeah, it's just not predictable. Like it is, sometimes you go to a party, you get drunk, or you go to a club. Yeah, you get drunk, you get a few drinks, and then maybe you get the confidence to approach a girl and then dance with her, make out with her, bring her to your place. But it's rare, and it's just like a lucky thing, right? But I'm going to show you how to actually be what I call level 2, an intermediate, which is you can approach girls anywhere you go. You can seduce them, you can date them, have sex with them. And it's not, you're not worrying about it anymore. Like, you know exactly what to do. It's like, it becomes part of your routine. It's not a problem anymore. Like, yeah, you want to get a date? Of course you're going to get a date. It's not even a question. So the problem becomes more like the problem is kind of alleviated. Like it's over. It becomes predictable. You can get dates consistently. That's intermediate. But there's a next level, which is the professional, where not only can you date women consistently, have sex consistently, and all of that, but you can also retain women. Because there's a lot of guys who are good at fucking girls one time or having sex a few times or having one-night stands, but then they're not retaining the best girls. They're unable to have a girlfriend. They're like, it's a different game. Obtaining women and retaining women is two different things. And I'm talking about retaining quality women, not some six on Tinder or some average girl. Okay. So those are the three levels. And I'm going to show you how to go through these levels and level up this year. Okay. So you're going to go from being an amateur. Maybe you have like a weak online presence. You're not really approaching women consistently. You're not taking much action. To taking action consistently, having some systems in place, getting dates whenever you want, and really becoming a professional, So that's the main aim of this work, is completely systemizing your dating life and making it predictable. Now, the real systems that I'm going to show you on this webinar, and even after this webinar, are not going to be on Facebook or YouTube or Instagram, because on Instagram and Facebook and all of that, I can't really share my real systems. I'm just going to share some generic videos or some generic quotes or content, but it's not going to be the real systems. Now, these systems and these methods just work, and I've proved it over and over with all my clients. I've had hundreds of clients since I started back in 2017. So it's been almost 7-8 years now that I'm doing this. And yeah, it just works. I've had so many success stories. Every week, if you follow me on Instagram or you follow me on Twitter or you follow me on any platform, Telegram, I'm always posting new success stories every single week. And these systems and these secrets that I'm going to share with you As I said, they're not going to be available in the mainstream. So you have to stay with us here if you want to learn the real thing. And most of my best stuff is going to be at the end of this webinar. So you have to stay till the end if you want to get the best stuff. Now, funny enough, like, most of my clients in the beginning, they were a bit skeptical. Like, who's this guy? Should I trust this guy? I already took a few courses before. I already took a few. I mean, I follow these dating gurus on YouTube, but it doesn't really work for me. And so they had all this skepticism. But then once you go through the program and once you actually understand what those systems are about, I mean, once you take action, like, you get results. And that's what all my clients had. After a few weeks, they got an amazing results, and it's been incredible for them, But first of all, I want you to understand something. I want you to adopt what we call a systems thinking. Okay, because at the end of the day, your life is just a collection of systems. You have your, even in your body right now, like, you're watching this because your systems are working. You have your muscular system, your cardiovascular system, like all these systems working together for you to be watching this webinar, And so just like the human body relies on different systems, respiratory system, immune system, whatever, well, our life is a collection of systems too. You have the education system, the financial system, everything. And your dating life is the same thing. You have, many systems that hold your dating life together. And there's only 3 ways to date girls anyway. It's either going to be cold approach in real life either you're going to cold approach a girl in real life during daytime or nighttime, or it's going to be online with Instagram, dating apps, all of that, or it's going to be social circle. And then there's other systems like how to conduct the dates, how to, retain a woman, like relationship type of systems. There's also things about frame and mindset. There's many pillars, many different systems, but your life is a collection of systems, and your dating life is also a system in some way. Now, some of you might have a terrible system unconsciously, but it's still a system. You all have a system, whether you know it or not. And the author, James Clear, once said, you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. So some of you might have amazing goals. You want to make $1 million a year or even more. You want to travel the world even more. You want to date the most beautiful woman in the world. But at the end of the day, all these goals, you're not going to attain them unless you get the right systems in any area. It could be fitness, it could be business, it could be dating, So your goal is your desired outcome, but your system is the way you get there. And so you need to level up your systems if you want to level up this area. And same for finance, same for fitness. Like, if you want better finances, a better business, you got to put in some better systems in your business, for example, if you want a better business. So there's a lot of things. Now, obviously, there's also the mindset part, which is very, very important. I always say that, and I've said this on Telegram 2 days ago, I said that most people, they don't have business problems. They have personal problems manifesting in their business. Well, same thing for your dating life. A lot of times, it's also a personal problem too. Like, you need to change your mindset. You need to level up your identity. Because if you stay with the same identity, then you're going to manifest the same results. So your identity needs to be leveled up, and the quality of your system. And it's a whole. It's not just like, oh, I'm just going to work on the systems and I'm going to expect to get results. No, you gotta work on your identity also. It's very important to work on the inner part as well. So as I said, I'm going to show you a culmination of systems here that are going to get you to get a pipeline full of women every single time, every single week, every single month, and not having to worry about it, and doing it while crushing your goals, while crushing your fitness, while doing everything. So your success in your dating life is determined by the quality and accuracy of all these dating systems. And, I remember I learned this, when I started my e-commerce shop a few years ago. I was doing e-commerce online, and I wanted to find a way to kind of automate my e-commerce shop, And so I read this book called Work the System, which showed me how to systemize my business and how to adopt this systems thinking. And that's how I came up with all this stuff. But since having this system approach to business, that's when things started to flow more easily in my business, for example. But it's the same thing with health. It's the same thing with the fitness, with dating, with everything, So that's why I'm talking to you about all these systems, because you need to have this systems thinking in everything you do. And that's how you get predictable results. Otherwise, you're gonna always get some. You're gonna get some results sometimes, but then you're gonna go back to normal, and you're gonna go back to average, and then you're gonna get a bit of results, and then go back to average. And it's always gonna be this unpredictable cycle every single time. But if you want to make it predictable, you got to systemize it. So that's one thing. Now, as you know, nowadays the dating market is a bit fucked, right? You know the dating market is a bit fucked already. With social media, with dating apps, with all of that, women receive a lot of attention. Now it's more competitive than ever. Like a girl can go on Instagram and find any guy, and she could get in contact with him. And a lot of guys these days, unfortunately, they just simp for girls. Like they just give them too much attention or pay for their OnlyFans or do all that shit. And that really makes the dating market harsher for most guys, right? But as they say, in every obstacle, there's an opportunity. And the thing is, even though it's skewed, if you have the right systems, you're going to be able to outpace 90% of the guys, and you're going to be able to really position yourself in a way where, women are going to be chasing you now. And this is very powerful, and that's, when we say the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, it's kind of the same thing nowadays. The guys who are already who have learned the game and who understand, like, who get it, like who understand the systems, they get richer and richer, they get more and more women. But the guys who still are average, they don't have the proper systems, etc., I mean, they're gonna keep struggling, and they're gonna keep struggling even more as the years go by. They're gonna struggle even more. So really, the dating market is very, very Darwinistic. There's a sexual Darwinism taking place for sure. Like the guys at the bottom, they're gonna get average or no girls, and the guys at the top, they're gonna keep getting the best girls. And this phenomenon is also called hypergamy, where women are looking for the high status males they can get. Right now, you don't need to be super rich, etc. I'm going to show you also some ways around it. But obviously, if you make more money, then you have more options because you can travel more, you can afford more things, you can, do a lot of things that will facilitate your access to women. So that's one thing. Now, since 2008, as you know, the number of sexless men under 30 has tripled, and the proportion of incels has increased like crazy as well. So nowadays, most women, they have a ton of options, but most guys, it's kind of the opposite. They don't have a lot of options. They're struggling, and hypergamy is at its peak. So I want to give you kind of a state of affairs, like what's happening right now, and just you being aware of all these things, because being aware of all these things is gonna give you kind of an urgency to learn these things as well. Because if there's no urgency, if you feel like, oh, everything is all right, I'm just gonna keep doing whatever I'm doing, then you're going to regret in a few months, in a few years, and time flies. I mean, as you saw right now, New Year's was literally like New Year's was just now, and now we're almost at the end of, January. So months go by like super fast unless you actually take action. You're going to waste so much time, and you're going to keep procrastinating. So that's why being in this webinar is actually an amazing opportunity for you to get started with this and finally change this for the rest of the year. And 1 in 4 guys are not even having sex these days. So billions of men are not having sex, not getting the dating life they want. And the testosterone levels also have decreased like crazy in a few years. So yeah. Anyways, I'm just going to skip a few things. I don't want to make this webinar too mainstream and go into so much introduction stuff. But yeah, a lot of the advice you're going to get on the internet is just like, yeah, just be yourself, get a good job, make a lot of money. And then, once you make a bit of money and you get a good job, then girls are going to come to you. Or build your business, focus just on business, go monk mode, just do monk mode. And then once you do some monk mode and you just hustle, then girls are going to come to you, right? And there's a lot of these type of advice, and honestly, it's just sad to see that, because there's a way better. There's so many other ways to do it right while crushing your goals, while making money, while having everything else, So this is not going to be some vanilla advice or watered down advice or some generic shit you see. I'm going to go straight to the point. Now, if you stay until the end, I'm going to give you plenty of gifts as well, plenty of bonuses, plenty of books and stuff, and yeah, you're going to like it. So keep your ass in the webinar. First of all, who the fuck am I? I mean, some of you know me already. I'm the founder of Higher Self Circle. I've been doing this for a long, long time. I've been the inner circle leader of multiple dating communities in the past. I lived in many, many cities. And I've helped, thousands of guys online to level up their dating life. And not just online. I also do boot camps, seminars, stuff like that in real life. I'm also the founder of Meetworth, which is a mobile networking app for entrepreneurs. So if you go on the App Store right now, you can already see my app called Meetworth. And this is an app for entrepreneurs to network together because I work with a lot of entrepreneurs. And I also have a mastermind with other entrepreneurs. And this is an app that allows entrepreneurs to network together, etc. It hasn't fully launched yet, so it's kind of low key now for now because we're fixing a few things. But in a few days, in a few weeks maximum, you're going to see this app everywhere on my social media and everywhere also on the platforms. We're going to post like a lot. And we have a lot of partners that are affiliated with us they're going to start posting too. So I'm not just a dating coach who does like some dating coaching. I also have like a software company. I also run other things. I'm also doing other endeavors. So don't think that, oh, I'm just like this guy who gives like dating advice. I do also other stuff. And that's why also like I'm getting less and less involved with this. So this is the best opportunity to kind of like do this with me and level up your dating life. Anyways, let's go back to dating. So I went from basically being a shy, nice guy who's just relying on luck to having predictable success. And I'm going to show you how. But first, I'm going to give you my background. So 8 years ago, I had no systems and I had kind of no dating life too. I was in high school. I had a few, I was friends with a few girls and I could sometimes get some girls, but it was rare. And I was kind of labeled as this nice guy. I was kind of friends with all the girls, but not really closing much. And I wasn't really the playboy I am today. And I remember I had a girlfriend in high school, and I was waking up every day with the anxiety of like not being up to par. I was always like, shit, how can I attract her? How can I retain her? How can I, like, what can I do? Because I never learned this shit. And I thought she was the one. I was afraid of losing her. I didn't know what to say. I was in total scarcity. And maybe you guys can relate to the story. Maybe you guys had a girlfriend at some point or had a girl that you truly liked, but you didn't really know how to retain her. You didn't have a system. You didn't have anything. So I decided that my current situation was a choice. And since then, I took responsibility and I started, learning these systems. I knew I needed to master this skill. So I started investing in myself. First of all, so, like some of you guys, I started surfing on the internet, trying to find some solutions, and trying to find some answers from books, etc. Maybe some of you know, the Game, which is a book by Neil Strauss, the Mystery Method. All these books, I read them. All these pickup books, I read them. And it was okay. Like I learned a few things. I started improving. But then really things started changing when I went to university back in Canada. So I studied in Canada 5 years in McGill University. That's one of the best universities in Canada. It's in Montreal, Canada. I lived 5 years there. And there, when you go to a new environment and you go to a new city, sometimes, especially if you don't have the right systems, it's hard to make new friends. It's hard to find new girls, especially if you're not really taking action, if you're just a student. And so at that time, I was really struggling in my first few years of college. And that's when I started reading books and getting into personal development and getting into business. I started my business at 18, like I was doing an e-commerce business. I was selling like some drop shipping stuff. And I had many brands, like Limotti was one of my brands. I was selling like watches and bracelets. Don Padron also, it was like kind of a lifestyle brand. I was selling some jewelry online and stuff. And I was also modeling a little bit, some gigs here and there for fun. But yeah, at that time I was a bit stressed out and I wanted to learn this shit. I was buying courses, buying stuff, investing in myself and starting my business, e-commerce business at the time. And so then I invested in one of my mentors, actually. I invested in a boot camp with a mentor that is still kind of one of my mentors. I still look up to him and I still learn from him. And I invested in that mentor when I was 17, 18, my first year of university. And it was a boot camp. And at the time I was broke. So I had a part-time job as a student to just pay the interest on my credit card and kind of like live my life. And that boot camp changed my life. I invested in many other mentors and boot camps, and I got better and better results over time. And I got so much results that I started teaching my friends and teaching other guys in my circle. And then after I taught my friends, some of my friends and other guys in my circle, I started, running live seminars. So I was teaching a few guys, like maybe 10, 20, 30 guys in a room, how to actually systemize their dating life and all of that. That was in 2017. 2017, now we're in 2024, so 7 years. I was just still doing seminars, teaching this, doing boot camps and stuff like that. So 7 years, I'm not fly by night. I know what I'm talking about. And I even appeared on the Canadian national TV because there was like a journal there, Canadian journal, that wanted to kind of interview me because they saw some videos back in the day and they heard about me. Anyway, but now basically it's been 7 years that I've been helping entrepreneurs, professionals, and guys from in more than 35 plus countries to live their dream dating life. And that's what I'm doing now full time. And I still host boot camps. I mean, not full time because I also have the app, as you know, Meetworth, and also have other projects, but it's kind of my main activity too. Like I'm doing this mainly with the other stuff. But I still host boot camps actually. Like the next dates are I'm going to Dubai next week. Next week I'm flying to Dubai, and then I'm going to Bali for a month, and I'm hosting a boot camp in Bali. So in February. So if you guys want to join me in Bali, Indonesia, it's going to be in February, end of February. And then there's going to be one in Belgrade, end of April, and one in Dublin, end of June. So I still host boot camps, and it's every 2 months on average. Okay. And in my boot camps, not just in my boot camps, I'm called Limo, right? My name is it's my nickname, actually. It's not even my real name. But I love limousines. Like, honestly, since I'm young, I always loved limousines. And so I knew that when I was going to be successful, I always wanted to ride in limousines whenever I could. Like if I don't know, if there's a great party and I have like a few girls that I know, I take a limousine and I just love it. Anyway, so now basically I'm just living my life. I have my businesses, traveling the world. I'm DJing sometimes. I DJ a few times a year. And I'm just, traveling the world, helping guys as usual, etc. And I'm literally the coach of some coaches, because you see a lot of coaches on Facebook and I follow some of them. And some of them were my students actually in some way. And now they're coaching too. And I actually grew a dating page on Twitter with almost 86 followers. Maybe you saw that page. Maybe you guys come from that page, some of you. Playboy Secrets. That's a huge page that I've been growing as well. But anyways, enough about me. I'm not going to go too much about everything. Now, as you know, I'm pretty famous for pulling high quality women consistently, getting results, traveling the world, and getting my clients results most of all. You've seen the results that my clients have had, and you know that it works if you have the right systems. It's all about the right systems. Now, who's ready to take his dating life to the next level in 2024? Just type in yes. Who's ready? Let me know, and we're going to dive right in. So let me know. Yeah, I see some guys are ready. That's great. So how would your life be different right now if you had the systems, if you had the skills to date any woman you desire? How would it be different? Because right now, if you're not having that life, you're just missing out on so much, and it's not just about sex and just about girls. Obviously, sex and women and stuff, that's fun, but it's about just like this feeling that you're winning in every area. Because some of you guys, you're winning with money. Like, okay, you make money. You're winning in fitness. You go to the gym. All right, that's good. But the woman part is still the missing piece. There's still something. You need to figure it out. And I can tell you guys, that is the best feeling in the world, where you have all the areas aligned and all the areas full stack. You have girls around, you're able to have sex when you want, get the girls you want, but at the same time, you're making money, enjoying your life, getting fit, and everything is on point. And that's what I want for you. I want you to systemize everything and have everything on point. And, I want you to have women wanting sex more than you do also. because a lot of guys, like, they know how to get girls into bed, but it feels a bit forced. It's not smooth. The process is not smooth at all. And so I'm going to show you how to be smooth, how to actually want, like, they're going to want to fuck you more than you do. And that's a whole other level. Now, let's talk about how attention relates to sex first. So typically, as you know, men give attention to get sex. They give attention to women to get sex. And then women give sex to keep getting that attention. And so it's usually attention into sex, sex into attention. Now, the problem is in this new economy of attention, as I said before, women are getting so much attention from all these social media sources, all these dating apps, etc. And especially with platforms like OnlyFans and sugar daddy websites and TikTok and all of that, it's never been easier for women to monetize their beauty and receive unlimited attention. And women now, they're even profiting from that attention. You've seen all these OnlyFans girls making millions. And the guys who manage these OnlyFans girls are making millions as well. I know some of them personally. I know some of my friends, they're managing multiple OnlyFans creators and they make millions of dollars. And it's incredible. And I mean, good for them. But women are getting unlimited attention and they're also profiting from that attention because nowadays, male attention is just hyperinflated. It's everywhere. Guys just give their attention away. And social media has facilitated this access to attention for women. They're getting attention for no reason. And so because our attention is hyperinflated, we need to do something to restore it. And the only way to restore it is either you're gonna basically make yourself more valuable and increase the value of your attention so that your attention becomes valuable like gold. It's something that's valuable. Or you have to give a lot more attention to get what you want. And that's not the best route. You don't want to give a lot more attention to get what you want. The best way is to restore the value of your attention so that your attention becomes very valuable in the marketplace, right? Now, I know what some of you are thinking also sometimes. You think, okay, I'll just work and get rich and get a business and girls will come when I'm rich, right? And I used to think like that too. Like, okay, when I'll have my business, when I'll make money, when I'll be the CEO or whatever, then women will come to me. But I can tell you, like, I mean, I've had businesses for a while, and when I started my business, like, women weren't coming to me, man. Even if I had a business, even if I was making money, you need to still go up to them. I have plenty of, I mean, most of my clients are entrepreneurs. Most of my clients, they make at least multiple six figures. And a lot of them more than seven figures a year. And a lot of them used to think that way, like, oh, when I'll be rich, I'll make money, etc. When I'll be rich, I mean, and make money, I will get girls, but they weren't getting girls, even if they were rich, because the girls, they're not going to knock at your door. They're not going to come to you. So stop being a fucking geek. Stop staying in front of your computer all day and learn the right systems, because once you learn the right system, you can work efficiently, work on your business most of the time, but still get to date women along the way. Okay? So that's what I want to show you is an efficient way to date women while, crushing your business. So fuck the monk mode. Fuck the monk mode. Now I have multiple businesses. I have a team to lead. I go to the gym all the time. I travel the world and I'm still dating. It's fine. Getting one date a week is not going to ruin your business, or 2 dates a week even. Like, it's fine to work most of the time and then one evening or 2 evenings or 3 evenings during the week, you're just fucking a girl, getting on a date. That's completely healthy, actually. And it's going to increase your productivity because after you fuck a girl, you feel a bit empowered. And then the next day, well, when it's time to work, you're just focused. You're not thinking about sex. You're not thinking about being horny because you already had sex. So then, because you already had sex, you're not horny anymore, so you can focus. So it's gonna basically free up some mental energy as well. I think, when you fuck girls consistently, at least like once a week or twice a week, it actually frees up mental energy to work better. That's what I've noticed personally. If I don't fuck a girl like for 2 weeks, I start getting too horny. I can't really focus anymore. And then you know what happens. Maybe some of you are going to go to some of those adult websites. You're gonna just jerk off to porn, and then yeah, it's just gonna be this cycle, you know. So you don't wanna have that. Anyway, so in terms of making money, I mean, you've seen all these celebrities. They're good looking, they're rich, they're all of that. But most of them, their marriages has failed. They've been cucked by. I mean, they just like even Brad Pitt or even Will Smith. You know what happened to Will Smith with Jada Smith. So it didn't really work for them, even though they were rich, tall, etc. Same for all these billionaires. Bill Gates and all of that. They thought money solved all the problems, but it surely didn't work for Bezos and Bill Gates. They still got divorced, still had problems. So the mainstream narrative of just focusing on money and just focusing on fitness or whatever, that's not going to work. It's not just about looks and money and stuff like that. Yes, you have to improve these areas, but it's about having a strong frame, having the right systems, engaging in the right practices when it comes to dating. So let's dive right in. Now, there's 4 things you need to do if you want to learn these systems correctly with me on this webinar. The first thing is take a lot of notes and really be focused. Like, don't have so many tabs open. I know some of you have your phone and you just texting on your phone at the same time. No, really be focused and focus on the presentation. And also at the end, you can ask me questions. If you have some questions, you can ask those questions in the end. Okay. So let's dive right in. And by the way, if you stay till the end, I'm going to give you access to some of my resources, to my books, and all of that. So first of all, there's a lot of guys who associate me with this pickup artist stuff. Okay. I'm not a pickup artist at all. Fuck pickup artists. We're not pickup artists here. Okay. Because a lot of guys, they think it's just about learning lines and techniques, etc., but it's not going to solve the problem. It's just a facade. It's just a gimmick. It's just a cheap trick. Okay. One of my previous mentors, he said you can either work to become an excellent man or an excellent manipulator, and it would take you about the same effort. So pickup artists, they're just like excellent manipulators. They just learn a bit of lines, a few things, and it works for a bit. It works a bit in the short term sometimes, but in the long term, usually it's a deceiving thing. It's not sustainable. A girl is going to spend a few hours with you, and then she's going to see the holes in the facade. She's going to see that, this guy actually doesn't have his shit together. And she's going to end up disgusted, So don't become a perpetual manipulator. Don't try to learn all these lines and gimmicks. Instead, work on becoming a quality guy first. Okay. And what I do is often associated with all that stuff, as I said, the pickup artist stuff, but fuck that, and it's just like champagne and cheap sparkling wine. What we do here at Higher Self Circle, what we do with my dating systems and what we do with what I'm going to show you, that's really like the shit. That's really the stuff that's going to help you, that's going to change the game for you. And you can compare it to the best champagne, but those pickup artist tactics and those little gimmicks, that's some cheap stuff, it's another level. It's a different world. So what I do is completely different from all these PUA guys, and you'll see that. But first of all, it all starts with yourself, man, because if you're not a quality guy yourself, you're not like at a certain level, how are you going to attract some quality girls? You need to, obviously, as I said, level up your identity first. And most coaches, most programs, they're going to tell you to focus mainly on the outer part. Like, I'll just learn this Tinder script, and then with this Tinder script, you can get unlimited dates, or I'll just do this. But I can guarantee you that the inner part is as important, if not way more important, than the outer part as well. So your mindset, your frame, your worldview need to be in alignment with the system that I'm going to show you. And I'm going to show you how to align that as well. Okay? Otherwise, you're just going to be masquerading yourself as someone you're not, like all these pickup artists. Okay, and you don't want to be faking who you are just because you learned a few lines. I'm just gonna remove this fucking thing, this red thing. Yeah, I just removed it now. Okay, so let's dive in. Okay, I'm just gonna skip a few things, but it starts with yourself. It starts with why. First, why do you want to do this? Do you have a strong why of doing this? Why do you want to improve your dating life? Is there a reason that's deeper than just sex or just getting girls or just... Because, I can tell you, like, the guys who are good with women, they're not just in it for sex or women. they know that when they improve their dating life, it also improves their communication skills. And their communication skills has a direct impact on their income, for example. Or they want to become a better leader. They want to be a great father someday. They have like deeper reasons that makes them stick to the process of getting better with women. It's not just about, sex and all of that. It has to be deeper than that. And when you figure out your why, it becomes easier to work on the how and the what. So first of all, why are you in this process? Like what brings you here, for example? Like the deeper why, besides women and all of that. Because we all have a deeper why, and some guys, yeah, they just wanna fuck a few bitches here and there, and that's fine. But you need to have a better why. Like maybe you wanna become more a charismatic leader. Maybe you want to earn more money, and so you know that those communication skills are linked to making money. You need to have a stronger why. Now, besides having a stronger why and knowing why you're doing this and being aligned with that, you also need to level up your value in the dating market. As you know, the dating market is a marketplace. There's an offer, there's a demand. There's women who want to get the best men out there. They want to get the men who are the most desirable. And there's men who want to get the most attractive women too. So there's an offer, there's a demand, and some guys have more value than others in this market. Some guys make more money, have more status, are more good looking, and have maybe a better game or better charisma. And so they're able to attract a higher quality women in this market. And if you want to have premium women, you have to position yourself as a premium guy in the market. You can't position yourself as a bottom level guy and expect to have some premium top tier women, right? So you have to also position yourself the right way. And right now, some of you
Deixa eu no mudo.
are not positioning yourself the right. One second, I'm going to mute this guy. Yeah. So some of you right now, you're not positioning yourself the right way. You're positioning yourself like a Toyota, like you're cheap, mass adopted, made to fit in. But if you want to attract top tier women, you have to really position yourself as kind of a Lambo, a supercar. You're different. You're made to shine. It attracts a different clientele, a different type of woman. Now 99% of guys, I mean, they're not even on this journey of improving themselves with women. They're just like blue pill, chasing girls, no purpose, no focus, no discipline, etc. But if you're here already, you're already on this path of improving this area. So that's great. But the things that will affect your sexual market value as a man are always going to be your status and your income first. So obviously, yes, you have to focus on improving that. You have to focus on being more desirable in the market. I mean, in terms of with women, because with women and socially in general, like when you have a cool social circle, when you have women around, etc., that makes a big difference in how women see you as well. So social proof, pre-selection, physical fitness, your personality, your game, all these things are going to impact your value in this market. Now, what's good with us guys is that we peak at a different time in life. So if you're in your late 20s, 30s, 40s, that's pretty good already because you're kind of at your peak right now and you're getting to your peak. Your peak is going to be attained around 35, max late 30s. That's going to be your peak of the peak where you have the most resources. You've worked on yourself, I mean, all these years. I mean, if you've done the right thing, you would have worked all these years on yourself in your 20s and 30s to get to a point where in your late 30s, you're at the top. You have like a lot of money. You're free, you do whatever you want, and you're super fit because you've built all that momentum. So at around 35, you're going to peak. But women, they peak at a different time. Okay, they peak around 23, 24, 25, 26. And after 25, honestly, 26, 25, it just goes down from there, most of them. Okay, now a woman can still, take care of herself and still be very attractive, even in her 30s, but her peak will be in her 20s. I'm not saying women are not attractive after 30. Some women are very attractive, but it's not their peak. So anyway, now, if you want to be a good family man one day, because some of you are, then it's always better to be a good player first, I think, most players when they actually get into a relationship, when they actually do commit to someone, they actually make the best boyfriends or husbands or partners because they come from a place of abundance. You see, most guys, they rush themselves into a relationship from a place of scarcity. And then they end up in a toxic relationship, or they end up with the wrong partner or the wrong woman simply because they didn't gather the right reference experiences that they needed to have some discernment, you know? And so same thing, you know, a player, I mean, when he has all these experiences and when he understands what women he truly likes, that's when he can really choose a woman from a place of power, from a place of abundance. So I think it's super, super crucial that you have this phase where you date multiple women, you get a lot of women first, and then you settle with someone if that's your goal, you know, but it's always better to start by being a player first. Now, let's talk about how the dating funnels work, first of all. So 80% of your results in life are usually going to come from 20% of your actions. And you know that. And it's the same thing with dating. There's going to be some specific actions that are going to lead to maximum efficiency, right? And if you want to change your dating life, you're going to have to change your habits too, because some of you are stuck in the same pattern. You just work all day on your computer, then you go to the gym a little bit, and then that's it. You never go out, you never talk to girls, you just stay. Sometimes you go on dating apps, but you swipe and you don't match any girls, or even if you match, they're flaky. And so you're in this cycle where it's not going anywhere, right? But I'm going to show you other ways. Now, there's different dating funnels, right? There's a live dating funnel, which is kind of the real life funnel where you approach a woman in real life, you have a conversation with her, you get her contact, you date her, and then you have sex. That's what happened to me yesterday. Yesterday, I pulled a girl to my place, and that girl, I met her about 1 month ago in a bar here. So I met her a month ago in a bar here. I took her Instagram, and then we kept following each other. And then after a few weeks of following each other, I scheduled a date, and then I had sex with her. That's just one way of doing it. Like you meet a girl in real life, and then you can pull her same night, or you can pull her after a while, you take her contact, and then you date her, you have sex with her. You can do this during daytime or nighttime. For the girl yesterday, as an example, it was a girl that I met during nighttime. I met her in one of the clubs here, and we exchanged contacts, and then I pulled her. But this girl, I couldn't have pulled her the same night because she's a bit complicated. Like she wouldn't, yeah, she wouldn't fuck a guy after a club most of the time. I mean, it's a different type of girl. So there are girls you can pull same night. There are girls like it's not going to be able to pull them same night. You're going to have to date them separately. So that's what I did with this girl. I dated her separately. So it depends, you know, but this is the live dating funnel where you approach a woman in real life during daytime or nighttime, you have a conversation with her, then either you pull her directly or you take her contact, then date her, then have sex. Now, there's also the online funnel, which is very similar, but it starts differently. It starts with a direct message or you matching with a girl and messaging her. And then after a conversation, you get her contact, you date, you have sex, right? And I mean, with my clients, I share them the dating success engineering, which is how to reverse engineer their success with women and how to make it predictable. I'm not going to share that with you now because it's going to take too much time, but there's a way to kind of reverse engineer the whole funnel to make it efficient and to know your numbers, basically. Now, let's talk about the most common dating blunders. So there's different dating blunders. The blunder number one is that most of you guys, you don't have enough volume to start with. You don't have anything to work with. Like you're talking to one or two or three girls a month, maybe, or a week, and it's not enough because some of these girls, they're not going to be that interested. Some of these girls, they have boyfriends. Some of these girls, they're not emotionally available at that time. And so you need more volume. You need like at least 10 to 20 new women in your funnel every week. Every week, you need 10 to 20 new women in your funnel from you going out or you talking to women in real life or you on Instagram or you on dating apps like Social Circle, everything. From all the different methods of getting girls, you need to attract women in your funnel. And then once you have a few women you're talking to, then it's easier to convert because you have choice. It's like in business, you know, if you're talking to one or two prospects It's not enough because some of them maybe they're not ready yet. It's not the right time, etc. But if you're talking to 100 different prospects, then yeah, there's gonna be at least two, three, or four who are gonna be warmed up and ready to invest in themselves and ready to they really want what you have, you know? And so it's kind of the same thing with women. You need a bit of volume first. You know, some of you guys just need more pure volume. Now, blunder number two, a lot of you guys have some negative self-fulfilling prophecies. What I mean by that is you predict the outcome of the approach before it even happens. Like, oh, I'm sure this girl has a boyfriend, or oh, I'm sure, you know, I'm sure she's going to reject me or whatever. And you just have this bad mindset of predicting things before they happen and not taking the shot, not actually going for it. You keep repeating the same pattern. So that's also a bad thing. And then blunder number three is some of you guys keep doing the same thing as you've done before. And the problem is you have to iterate things. If you keep doing the same things, you're going to get the same results. So you have to change your game a little bit. You have to change the way you talk to girls. You have to change the way you text them. You have to change how you position yourself. You have to change a lot of things. Otherwise, you're going to keep having the same results, you know? So we're going to cover all these systems. You know, there's cold approach, which is very, very key. You have to learn cold approach. It's one of the best ways to meet women. Even now, I know a lot of guys shit on it online. A lot of guys say, oh, you know, cold approach is dead. Now it's just social circle. Or, oh, now it's just online. No cold approach. Cold approach is for losers. That's false. Cold approach is one of the best ways to meet women organically, in a way that's natural, in real life. You know, and plus in real life, you have less chance of them flaking on you because they met you in real life. You have this real life connection. They've seen you, you've seen them. So cold approach is one of the best. And then online, dating apps, Instagram, that's going to be the best. And then social circle. So those are the three main systems. And these systems are basically what I call real life social hacking, because you're hacking kind of the matrix. You're doing things differently than 99% of guys, and that's going to produce a different outcome, obviously. You know, if you put the right inputs, you're going to get the right outputs. And if you follow these systems and you put in the work, you'll see like your dating life is going to change completely. And I've seen this myself. Before, a few years ago, I wasn't even using Instagram. And now, since I refined my system and I learned from some of my mentors and I tested a few things, now I'm getting girls consistently from Instagram. Like all these screenshots are, you know, my DMs look like that on an average day, you know, during the week, because I'm constantly like, you know, I have my online presence that's optimized and I'm constantly DMing new leads and you know, taking action. And because of that, you know, I get a lot of leads on my pipeline, and then I can get easily 2, 3, 4 dates a week if I want to. Now, I'm not even going on 2, 3, 4 dates a week most of the time because I'm working. I go usually on 1 or 2 a week. That's enough for me. If I'm on vacation, like for example, next week, I'm going to be on vacation for a few days next week. I'm going to travel to Dubai and then Bali. Well, I'm going to be going out every day. So it's going to be easy to even date every day or fuck girls every day. But you know, I think 1 or 2 a week is kind of a sweet spot personally. But then some guys, I mean, some of my clients, they want to date like 4 girls a week. Fine. If that's what you want, you can do it easy. Easy. With the right systems, it's easy. So, by the way, follow me on Instagram if you haven't. Let's connect there. If you have a great profile, I'll follow you back. If your profile sucks, I won't follow you back. Sorry. But I'm going to give you a gift nevertheless. Nevertheless, even if I don't follow you, don't take it personally if I don't follow you back. But I will give you a gift, though. I will give you a gift. So if you post a story on Instagram of us being on the webinar, so now you post a story of us being on the webinar like this, and you tag me on the story, you say like, oh, it was a great webinar, something like that, then I'll offer you my book, Playboy Secrets. But you need to tag me, because if you don't tag me, then I can't repost it. So you need to tag me on the story of you being on the webinar, and then I will give you my book, Playboy Secrets, for free. And I sell this book, by the way. So I will give it to you as a gift. And follow me on Instagram too. If you follow me on Instagram and you do that, I will give you my book as just a gift. Now let's talk about the first system. So cold approach is the first thing you need to master when it comes to all these systems. You need to master the skill of approaching a woman anywhere you go, whether at the gym, at the grocery store, in the street, at the mall, doesn't matter where, and have an amazing conversation with her. Doesn't need to be super long. And then either grab her number or go on an instant date and date her and have sex with her. That's it. That's the skill. And this took me years to master, by the way. A lot of guys think like, it's super easy. You can just master it in by practicing it like 2, 3 times. No, it takes a bit of time. But if you have the right guidance, you can shortcut that by a few weeks, honestly. Once you have the structure that you need, you can shortcut that in a few weeks. But it still takes a few weeks to internalize the systems. Once you're in the system, you need to internalize it. So I'm sure some of you are seeing some beautiful women every day. You're seeing them at the gym. You're seeing them in the street. You're seeing them if you're a student in your college campus or whatever, or at your work, even in your workplace. Some of you have a 9 to 5 or something. You see some girls at your workplace and you want to approach them, but you don't approach them either because you're too lazy to do it, too anxious to do it, or you don't have the right skills or systems to do it. And so that's why it's important to master this, because otherwise you're going to miss out on so many opportunities. You're going to see girls every day and you're just going to regret every single time. Like, oh shit, I should have talked to this girl. Or, oh shit, she was so beautiful, I should have said hi, and you just keep letting them go. Now, the guys who tell you that they approach every single girl that they see, they're lying, bro. They're lying. I went out with some of the best guys at this, and even myself. Like, I go out all the time. Sometimes you're just gonna miss some opportunities. Like, it's okay. Sometimes you see a girl, you want to talk to her, you don't do it. It's fine. It happens to the best of us. It happens to me too. So I'm not saying every single girl I see I'm gonna approach, but if you know what you're doing, you're gonna approach more than you're not gonna approach. Like, you're gonna go and actually do it more than you're not gonna do it. And that's the important thing, that you're consistent with it and you actually do it. I'm not saying you're gonna approach all the girls you see, because that's impossible. There's so many girls. But if you do it consistently, you will get results. And approaching a woman is the first step. But then the second step is creating that connection through the conversation. And so a lot of you guys, you're talking to a girl, but when you talk to her, it's a bit platonic. It's too, it's friendly, but it's not really going anywhere. And there's not this romantic undertone in the conversation. And most of you guys, when you talk to them, you don't have a verbal structure. And I'm not talking about pickup lines here. I'm talking about a structure, like a guiding line in the conversation from open to close, like how to actually structure the conversation from open to close. Most of you guys don't have that. You're just relying on luck or just going with the flow. And I can tell you that only dead fish go with the flow with this. You don't want to go with the flow. Yes, you want to be authentic. Yes, you want to be intuitive, meaning like when she tells you something, you want to bounce off of it. You want to be generating your own lines, right? You want to be generating your own things. You don't want to rely on some line, but you don't want to go with the flow. You still want to have a structure to what you're doing. So when I talk to a woman or when I'm on a date, yes, I can improvise anything. But it depends on how she is or what she gives me or what she tells me. I'm going to improvise stuff. I'm going to make up stuff. But I'm still going to have some things I need to check in the conversation for the conversation to go well. I have like a check mark in my head. Like, okay, have I done this? Yeah, I've done this. Okay, have I done that? Yeah, I've done that. And I know that, okay, if I follow these things and if I follow that structure, I know that it's going to go pretty well. And so if you guys don't have that kind of check mark or that structure in your head of how you're going to conduct your conversations, your dates, etc., you're probably not going to close consistently. It's going to be unpredictable. So if you want things to be consistent and predictable, you need to have a clear system of how you conduct your conversation in some way and how you convert all these beautiful women into romantic partners, into sex. So that's the first step. And these systems have personally allowed me to date some of the most beautiful women. I've dated so many girls. I mean, so many beautiful memories. Those are going to be some of the best memories of your life. I mean, when I look back at those pictures, it was some amazing memories. I mean, obviously, memories with your family, with you traveling with your family, whatever, those are good memories too, like family, stuff like that. But girls, it's also going to be a big part of your life, and it's going to be some of the best moments, honestly. And if you miss out on that, if you don't have that dating life, you're not getting those results. You're just not living up to your full potential. That's the thing. And I want you guys to live up to your full potential. And that's probably why you're here. And so having the right verbal structure, having the right system, mastering cold approach and all of these things is going to free up so much space for you to just focus on what's important and for you to just take action and get results, you know? So that's the thing. Anyway, I'm going to skip a few things. And another thing is all these verbal structures and communication skills, as I said, they're going to help you make more money. You know, because if you can influence women, you can also influence other guys. You can also persuade and seduce other men. You know, I see so many guys who work in banking or who work as a lawyer or who work as in their business, you know, even in their business, they're just able to just communicate their value better once they learn these systems with women. So some guys, I mean, one of my clients, for example, last year, he got almost not double, but a bit less than double his salary because he negotiated it with his boss. And after my program, it gave him the confidence to just negotiate things better, to just communicate better and negotiate a better salary or it's just how this works. You know, it's all a matter of perception and persuasion and influence. You know, making money is at the end of the day, it's never a business to business. It's always business to people. Even the best companies in the world, they're dealing with people at the end of the day. And once you learn those communication skills with women, you're going to learn how to master communication with people in general, you know, at your workplace, in your business, everywhere. So now the second system is the online system. Because yes, cold approach is cool, cold approach is important, but you need an online system nowadays. You know, the era of just doing cold approach and having zero Instagram, no presence online is a bit dead. Like, yes, you can still, but you need both if you really want to maximize your chances. So nowadays, if you don't have a strong online presence and kind of a social circle too, you need a baseline of a social circle also if you want to succeed at a higher level. If you don't have those two things, strong online presence and social circle, then also you're going to waste a lot of your time and end up with lower quality women as well. Now, a lot of you guys use Tinder and Bumble. That's fine. I use them too. Okay. You want to use those. But the best women, to be honest, the highest quality ones from what I've seen, they're on Instagram. And they might be private too on Instagram. But if they're private, you can still DM them. I DM a lot of women who are private. But Instagram is where high value people are. And Instagram is not only a dating app, but it's a networking app. You can use it for your business, for your social circle, to create events, to do everything. So the right Instagram presence is going to help you become more high status, become more in demand, and is going to attract more women to you and more quality guys, higher quality guys, you know? For example, my client, Ben, when he started working with me, he had like 3,000 followers, like average pictures, kind of an average Instagram. But then we worked together and his Instagram became a lot more professional. Now he has like almost 42K or 43K followers, plenty of amazing pictures, like high status pictures. And it's much, much better. And now, you know, after a few weeks of working with me, this is his testimonial. He said, I'm getting tons of dates and comically swamped with nines, which means like he's getting so many girls, like so many leads, you know? And that changes the game for him. That actually changed the game for him because it's a matter of perception. And you don't need to have thousands of followers or be famous. You don't need to be rich, but you need to give the impression that you're living a good life. So I'm going to give you a few secrets when it comes to online, okay? First of all, when you take a picture online, try to have no one else in the photo most of the time. 90% of your pictures should be pictures containing yourself only, not you and 4 or 5 friends, not you and your high school friends or whatever, not you and your family. Keep it simple, just you in most of the pictures. Now, when you take a picture, don't look straight to the camera. Look away from the camera because you want to give this impression that you have like a paparazzi taking a picture of you. You have like a third person taking a picture. You're not like aware of it. And so you want to give this impression that you're the hero of your own movie. You're just living your life. And then people are taking pictures of you as you're living your life. You don't want to look at the camera directly, ideally. Now, also, you want to avoid like selfies and all of that. You want to avoid all that shit. You want to take pictures of you in high status environment, not just selfies like that. It's not a good thing. Now, also, some of you, you take a picture and you don't even edit anything. You don't crop it. You don't, at least put a bit of, I don't know, like a bit of effects, you have to color grade your pictures a bit. If you post it raw, yeah, sometimes it could fit, but ideally you want to edit it a bit. Okay. Now, also, I mean, some of you guys, you need to portray yourself in high status environments. Like, go to some nice hotels, go to some nice landscapes types of environments. Myself, I travel, so it's 1 second. I'm just gonna mute this guy. Myself, I travel, so it's easy. So I mean, I can post pictures of me traveling in cool places. I mean, next week I'm going to Dubai. So because I'm going to Dubai, I'm probably going to take so many pictures there. Bali as well. I'm going to take so many pictures. But even if you don't travel, go to a nice restaurant in your city or a nice hotel lobby or some nice environment and take pictures there. Don't take pictures in just average environments. Try to portray a good environment, a luxurious environment. As I said, you don't need to be rich to do this. You just need to do it. It's not going to cost you anything to go to a luxurious hotel lobby and take a picture there. They're not going to charge you for it. Worst case, you take a coffee. Okay, so you have to be smart about it. Like, you don't need to be rich, but you need to give this impression that you're living a good life, a high status life. Because truthfully, I mean, women have options, so they need to see you as the guy who has a cool lifestyle that they want to be a part of. So that's one thing. But yeah, myself, I've been traveling all over the world, getting so many options from my system, the Instagram system. And honestly, it's been one of the best systems to get dates so far. Like, I get, if I want, every day I can get at least 10 hot girls just lining up to get a date with. It's just that easy once you master Instagram. And GP, I'm just gonna mute you again. Mute yourselves, guys. Thank you. And then we're gonna do Q&A, by the way. We're gonna do Q&A soon. But follow me on Instagram, guys. If you didn't follow me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram. You'll see how I basically use my online presence. You'll see that. I post some reels and some nice carousels in high status environments. So yeah, Instagram is super powerful. Now, it's one thing to have a great profile. It's another thing to know how to message girls the right way. And this is in part what I teach my clients. I teach them how to message girls the right way online, and especially with Instagram, like the full system. So you have to showcase your lifestyle. You have to portray yourself in a high status way on Instagram, but you also need to text them in a way that's very strategic without giving too much attention, like remaining your attention valuable, but at the same time, progressing things and keeping things very concise and straightforward. And so you'll see that my online system, when I text girls, it's straight to the point. I don't waste time. It's like step by step. And after 6, 7, 8 back and forths, she's giving me her WhatsApp and we're dating, So it's very easy. Now, step number 3, after you master, Instagram and you master cold approach, you need to master social circle. Social circle is going to be the last pillar, because you can either have a top-down approach to dating or a bottom-up approach. Now, the bottom-up approach is you running around the mall, harassing some girls around the mall, just trying to day game and spending like hours every week or every day praying to get a date from day game, or praying to get a match, or praying to have a date. That's the bottom-up approach. That's what I call the dating hamster wheel. It's the hamster wheel. You're just like a hamster wheel. You go, you swipe a bit on Tinder. Maybe you pray to get a match with a hot girl. Most of the time, it's not going to happen. And even if it happens, usually it's flaky. And You go out, but it's also not happening. So it's the bottom-up approach. Now, the top-down approach is you have a great online presence. You're good at cold approach as well, but you also have a social circle and you have connections and you have female friends and you have events and cool stuff you go to that allows you to have access to women easily in those environments. For example, like last month, I went with, I mean, not even last month, for New Year's, sorry, for New Year's, we took like a VIP table in one of the clubs here. And it was me, two of my best friends here, and a few girls. We were like with 4 or 5 girls. Okay. 4 or 5 girls, me and two guys. And we had like a cool table. We in a cool environment. And it was so easy. It was so easy because we had girls with us already. So easy to bring new girls to the table. So easy to make that happen, you know? And so then we did an after party at my place. And then, you know, I fucked a girl. It was very easy because I had that top-down approach. I didn't even need any game. Didn't even need any game. Just by me being in that environment, me having a few connections, a few female friends, a nice social circle, nice events happening, it was so easy, you know? So you need to have that approach too at some point. This is kind of the higher level stuff, okay? Because day game is nice. You can, you know, day game and talk to a few girls in real life and all of that. Night game is good too, but it's too short-sighted. If you don't take the time to build a social circle as well, if you don't take the time to build a lifestyle, you're going to miss out on so much. So you have to build a social circle as well. This is one of the main pillars as well. But you should only work on this once you've mastered cold approach and online first, okay? Because if you don't master cold approach and online first, it's going to be hard to build a social circle in the first place. You need those foundations before you're ready to take on the next level. It's like in video games, you know, there's different levels. If you want to get to the social circle level, you probably need to master cold approach and online first. Because even like if you want to create events with girls, you want to create, for example, photo shoots with girls or different events, you need a good online presence. You need a good Instagram. You need to be good at texting. So even with social circle, like, yeah, you need to learn the few basics first. But we have a social circle system. This is what I teach to all my clients as well. In week 8, we cover the social circle system, which is the best system to be able to have a lot of connections, a lot of friends in your city, and build that thriving social circle that attracts women almost on autopilot, you know, once you have that running. So that's the triangle of elite success with women. A high value lifestyle and a high sexual market value, then mastering cold approach and seduction skills and like verbal systems, then having a strong online presence, a cool Instagram, ideally cool pictures, etc., and having a system for that, and then social circle. Once you master cold approach, online, social circle, you have a good lifestyle, you build your value to some level, it becomes so easy, you know? So anyways, so for those of you who want to get a girlfriend, because some of you want to get a girlfriend, okay, it's going to be very simple. You're gonna have 4 steps to getting a girlfriend, okay? First of all, you got to generate a lot of conversations. You have to get a lot of leads in. So you have to generate a lot of leads from cold approach, online, social circle. Once you generate a lot of leads, you have like, for example, 10, 20 girls you're talking to, and you date, for example, 5, 6, 7 of them. Let's say you date 5 girls in the next 3 weeks, okay? Well, once you date those 5 girls in the next 2-3 weeks, then you build some connection with them, you build some intimacy with them, maybe you have sex with some of them. And then from a place of abundance, you're going to be able to filter down your options and really select the one that's going to be the best for you long term. And then from that abundance, you can just pick the right one out of all these options. So sorry, I went too quick I was going too quick through the slides, but basically you generate a lot of conversations. You convert these conversations into dates. You fuck them. You have sex with them. You build more connection, more intimacy. You go on a second, third date, maybe with some of them. And then out of those options, after about 2, 3, 4 weeks, you filter down your options and you select the right one long term. And that's how you can get a girlfriend. After a few weeks of you dating, a few weeks of you having a lot of options, You select the best one after out of the one you're already fucking, and the one with the best values for you, the one with the best mindset, and you lock her down. That's how you get a girlfriend. Honestly, getting a girlfriend is like newbie stuff. It's easy to do once you have the right mindset and the right systems. Anyway, now this is the most important part of the webinar, and this is the part where you're gonna have to make, a decision whether you truly want to get there or not. Because some of you, obviously, you got some value out of this. You understand like a few things now. You understand kind of the systems. You understand kind of the what. But the how is missing a bit, because it's one thing to know what to do. It's another thing to know how to do it, right? And this is true for everything. And I'm going to show you now how to get there fast. So some of you, you walk the minefield blind, like you try to do it by yourself, but it's not really working. And so you keep manifesting the same results. You do it without any support. You don't have any wingman or brotherhood or whatever. You do this in your own corner. And you lose out on a ton of girls because of that. And you know that. And a lot of you who are going to be successful, you get a proven system. You give yourself every advantage possible. You invest in yourself, and then you save a lot of time because you know now what to do and how to do it. And plus you get the accountability to do it, because you need also accountability to some extent, especially if you're not used to doing this. You need a bit of accountability. So I'm going to show you how to get there fast. Now, some of you, you might be 25, you might be 30, you might be 35, 40, 55, 60, whatever. But really, life goes fast. Life goes so fast. Like if you're 25, you're already at 1/4 of your life. If you're 50, I mean, you're almost half dead. 75, it's over. I mean, it's over. So how many red blocks till this is really solved? And because you see all those red blocks here in this photo, those are months. And in life, if you live till 80 years old, you have around maybe 900 months. There's 12 months in a year. Let's say there's around 10 months in a year. 10 months times 90, that's 900 months on average. So if you live till 90 years old, you have around 900 months, and that's it. And most of you, you're in your 30s, 40s, time goes by fast. And so you need to solve this. Those are your best years. Those are your golden years. You have to turn this around. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to introduce you to what some of my clients are calling the Rolls-Royce of dating programs. This is really the best of the best. What we say in French, la crème de la crème. This is like crème de la crème of dating programs. There's not like another program that's going to be exactly like this, exactly like it is right now. And here's how the process works. It's very simple. So once you join me, either Jay or Tyler or Arun or GP or any guy, once you join my program, what we're going to do is we're going to have 2 calls per week. Okay. We're going to have 1 call on Sunday together, which is going to be a masterclass. So tomorrow we're going to have a call together tomorrow. And then on Wednesday, we're going to have an accountability call. So call on Sunday, masterclass, and then call on Wednesday, which is an accountability call. So 2 calls per week. Every week, I'm going to give you accountability. I'm going to be able to answer your questions, hold you accountable. We're going to talk, etc. Now, besides those 2 calls per week, besides that, you're also going to have lifetime access to our self-paced course. So this is self-paced. Besides the 2 calls per week, you can watch the course anytime. You have access to all the modules. You can watch it on your computer, on your phone, on your tablet. It doesn't matter where. And basically, the goal of this program is to get you from right now kind of relying on luck and having kind of a, low quality woman around or an average lifestyle, to having a predictable system, predictable dates, and really doing this in a professional way. You remember those levels, like the amateur level, the intermediate level, the professional level. Well, I'm going to try to get you, I'm going to get you one way or another in the long term to at least an intermediate level, a level where it's not a problem anymore. You get dates whenever you want. And the curriculum lasts 8 weeks, but you still have lifetime access even after the 8 weeks. So we're going to go through 8 weeks in the program, but even after, you still have lifetime access to the calls and lifetime access to the course as well. Now, the program is like building a house. In the beginning, we start with the foundations first. When you start building a house, you have to lay the ground first, right? So in week 1 and 2, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you everything you need to know about female psychology. I'm going to show you how to really position yourself the right way in the dating market. I'm going to show you how to make your attention valuable and weaponize your attention correctly. And really all the practices that you need to position yourself at the top. Week 2 is going to be more about identity, how to transcend your identity, how to align your identity with the type of dating life you want to have. And I'm going to show you how to reverse engineer your success with women so that you can focus on the top 20% of actions that are leading to 80% of the results. Okay, so that's week 1 and 2. Now, after week 1 and 2, after we lay the foundations of the house, okay, in this program, we're going to cover all the systems and I'm going to show you all the fancy stuff. Okay, so week 3, for example, we're going to cover the whole cold approach system. So how to approach women in the street, at the gym, at the grocery store, anywhere you go. And we're going to cover also everything you need to know about body language, style, charisma, all these things. Now, week 4, we're going to cover the verbal system. So everything you need to know when it comes to conducting conversations. Like, because it's one thing to know how to run a cold approach and how to get a number from cold approach. It's another thing to know how to conduct like lengthier conversation. Like, for example, you with a girl sitting down for 2 hours on a date. Like, imagine you sit down with a girl for 2 hours. What are you going to say? What are you going to do? How are you going to, what process are you going to apply for her to come to your place afterwards, you know? And so we're going to cover that in week 4, like the whole verbal system. Okay. So how to escalate things, how to flirt, how to sexualize, how to demonstrate high value, all these things. Now, week 5, we're going to cover how to close the deal on dates and how to close the deal when you go out. So let's say you go out in nightclubs or bars, etc. We're going to cover that. Week 6 is going to be the online system. So everything with Instagram, texting, all of that. Week 7, it's about retaining women. And week 8, it's about social circle, networking, all these things. Now, what's good with the program is not only are you going to get 2 calls per week, you're going to get the self-paced course, etc., but you're also going to get access to our mastermind. So we have a mastermind on Telegram where we have all my previous clients, all my current clients. Anytime you want, you can ask questions. We talk about business all the time. We talk about dating. We talk, obviously we talk about dating, but we talk about everything like fitness, dating, money, everything you want. And you can ask questions there, everything there. And you've seen all the success stories. I mean, some of my clients, they're getting 3 dates a week has become the norm, honestly, for most of my clients who are in my mentoring. And even with the mastermind, we have monthly members only calls. So with the mastermind group. And then higher self-mastery. So this is something that I'm going to give you also as a bonus. This is basically an entire program with 60 plus modules on health, wealth, relationships, and spirituality. So this is a program that's a bonus to the Dating Accelerator. And there's different modules on health and mindset and nutrition and sleep and all of that. But this is just a bonus. And what you're going to get on top of all these things, and you're going to get my books as well. So you're going to get all these things. So when you join me today, you're going to get 8 weeks of mentoring, the access to the master classes and the Q&A calls. So 2 calls per week. You're going to get lifetime access to the course, lifetime access to all the upgrades and higher self-mastery. Now, this is an anti-brokey program. Okay. If you're broke right now, if you're making less than 1 to 3K a month, you're unable to invest at least 1K into leveling up your dating life, this is not for you, okay? If you're a brokey, if you can't afford anything, you can't even go out on a date, you don't have money, it's not for you. But if you're willing to finally make a change, okay, and invest in yourself to get the best systems, if you're willing to get results fast, then I'm going to show you how to get there. I'm going to give you the opportunity to pick a time, okay, with my team. They're going to give you a specific slot with my team. So you can pick a time and basically book a call with us. How it's going to work is I'm going to give you a link. If you want to work with me and you want to go through this program, you want to do the 8 weeks with me. So 2 calls per week, access to the course, access to myself, to the mastermind and everything. I'm going to give you a special link. I just dropped it right now inside the chat. And this is a consultation with me or my team. So it's either going to be me on the call or my head coach, Chris, or Boris. And basically, they're going to have a call with you, or I'm going to have a call with you. And we're going to decide together if this program is the right fit for you, because we don't want to accept anyone. in this program. This is a program for guys who are serious. This is a mentoring program. You're going to have to invest in yourself. This is not going to be a free thing, obviously. But if you invest in yourself and you're serious, you're going to get there, and we're going to get you there. So if you're serious about this program, like you want to get the 2 calls per week with me, lifetime access to 2 calls per week, then you get the course, the full course. You get all these weeks with all the systems. You get the mastermind, lifetime access to the mastermind, all these things. You get higher self-mastery. You get all my books, all my legacy books. If you want to get all these things, basically you pick a time with my team and we will get you there if you want to get there. So if you are serious, it's now or never. It's now or never. If you want to learn the proper systems, you want to do this, pick a time. You can pick a time on the calendar, and then we'll be able to help you and get you there this year. I mean, if you know what to do and how to do it, and you have the accountability to do it, you're going to be so further ahead from 99% of guys. And that's going to make all the difference. And you've seen the testimonials. I mean, you've seen all my clients getting crazy results, like 1, 2, 3 dates a week, amazing girlfriends, getting dates consistently. That's not, that's not luck. That's just preparation and systems, So if you want to get there, if you want to join us, if you want to go through these 8 weeks together, get those 2 calls a week with myself, get lifetime access to the circle, which is our mastermind with guys all over the world, connect with other entrepreneurs, connect with other people. Well, that's the opportunity. If you didn't pick a time, then you're just a spectator. And unfortunately, you're probably not going to get there. But if you picked a time, then congratulations. I'm really looking forward to getting you to the next level and having you with us, having you on the calls, helping you being in the mastermind, really like changing your life, every single week with the program and dating the girls you want, making the kind of money you want, all of these things. So let me know if you guys have final questions about the call or about the program or about anything else. And if you don't have any final questions, I'll just wrap it up. Okay, so pick a time now. If you're serious, we'll be able to talk together, discuss your situation, and get you there. If you aren't picking a time, then nothing is going to change. You got to change to change. So yeah, I mean, I'm going to wrap it up, guys. I have to go anyway, but I hope you enjoyed it so far. I hope you liked the presentation in itself, and basically you had some clarity on what to do next. Now, as I said, if you're broke right now, it shouldn't even be the priority. Like if you're not making at least 3K a month, something like that, with your job or your business or whatever, you should focus on that first and then focus more on women. But if you are making at least 2, 3K a month, that's nothing, by the way. But if you're already making that, then you can start investing in your dating life, investing in women and all of that. I appreciate you. Take care, guys.